ChatGPT has definitely been a game changer when we speak about running paid campaigns for sure. In my understanding, writing headlines and descriptions were one of the most painful tasks ever since Google introduced the responsive search ads. 10 headlines to 15 headlines to 4 descriptions was a pain, man, let's face it. It was a pain to go ahead and get creative with each headline, and something that seemed like a timer on the bomb was your ad strength. I mean, you do everything that's in your capability, and then it still says it's good and it's not excellent, right? So this was a painful point at some point in time. But the game really changed when ChatGPT was introduced, and we all took to ChatGPT to go ahead and bombard it with write me 10 headlines, write me 100 headlines. I know people who actually wrote 50 headlines and saved it for the next 5 iterations, right? It was crazy. So it definitely is a game changer, but then there is no point in asking ChatGPT to write your headlines if you're not writing appealing headlines. If something is not congruent to your ad, your keywords and landing pages, your ad headlines basically mean nothing. And that may be one of the reasons your ad strength is still good or it's still poor when you don't have, even when you have like 50 ad texts in place, right? So something that I have learned along the way is generating user-generated content. Generating headlines using ChatGPT for your user-generated content or UGC. Where let's assume that you have you have a review or you have some testimonials collected or some content or feedback that you received from your users. I mean, how can you use that to go ahead and write your headlines is something that I always have been fascinated about. So what I bring to you, ladies and gentlemen, is I have an ad. I am going to go ahead and do something like that for you today, where we pick up a video and then we extract the comments, we clean up the comments a little, and then we ask ChatGPT to write us descriptions and headlines, keeping in mind the user-generated content, which are the comments of this video, right? So there are about 139 comments, and I think I have already downloaded the comments here. All right. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to show you the comments that I had extracted for you, and these are extracted from the video that we spoke about. And what is going to happen now is these comments need a little cleaning, right? So I've excluded the duplicates and I've excluded anything that shouldn't be ideally here, but still this needs a little cleanup. So let's do this and let's go ahead and go back to ChatGPT. Okay, so this is the comments that have been exported, and I have gone ahead and cleaned up those comments. Now what we need to clean this data up a little. So let's go to ChatGPT. Let's open ChatGPT and then let's give it some instructions. You can either copy paste the comments, considering they're about, let's say they're about 100 comments. I don't think that should be a problem for you to go ahead and copy paste it manually. But just to avoid any situations where ChatGPT may say that this is too many, comments for me to go ahead and process, you can always upload it as a document, right? So we are on ChatGPT, and I'm going to go ahead and go to ChatGPT. I'm going to go Advanced Data Analytics. I'm just going to attach the file, which is this, for the cleanup process, right? So I'm just going to say this is a raw file raw file that contains comments from a YouTube. Ignore the misspellings, please. From a comment on YouTube that I am analyzing. Need your help to clean up this data, which means remove duplicates, remove any comments that is completely out of context, right? Ignore offensive comments. What else? Include comments that are abusive. Okay. And then what to consider? Consider any feedback, any suggestions made, any comments praising the content or the hosts or participants of the video. Any suggestions, any value adding pieces, and anything and everything that is in context of the discussion, right? So I'm just going to include these. Now, I have a bunch of comments. I don't have the time to go ahead and look at each of these comments. So I'm just going to say, give me a detailed analysis of the cleaned comments based on instructions above. Give me a 500 to 700 word overview of all the comments discussed in the attachment, right? I'm just also going to say under what to consider. I'm also just going to say any specific requests users may have had, include those also, and then give me a description of an overview of all the comments that were cleaned now, because you asked it to ignore certain things. And once it has ignored those things, it will give you an overview of what this data is actually talking about. So that, okay, the next steps will include removing duplicate comments, filtering out comments based on the criteria you provided, analyzing the clean comments, which is good, right? So after removing the duplicates, we have about 121 unique comments left. I think there were about 130 odd comments in total, 139 comments. So it removed 19 comments as such. And then it is going to go ahead and give us, you can actually see what is happening step by step. It has removed 19 comments, and then it is going to give you, here are the first 10 comments from the filtered list. For a preliminary inspection, most of the comments seem relevant and in context with the video's content. The comment, I am out at plant-based, might be out of context if the video does not relate to the plant-based topics. Please review the comments and let me know if you would like or discard to speak any comments. Alternatively, I can continue reviewing the remaining batches. So I'm just going to say, continue reviewing the rest and please give me the 500 word overview for the cleaned analyzed comments. Okay, now you can also want to say goal is to use this content to go ahead and use them for my Google Ads headlines and ad descriptions. Okay, you also may want to add as right as the best copywriter for Google Ads. So when you do that, you're not only giving enough context, you're asking the system how it has to behave, what should be kept in mind when writing these comments, and you're also giving the authorization to go ahead and process the next batch of comments, right? Okay. Continue reviewing the comments. It has gone ahead and pulled up those comments. Do you see how it is pulling up the comments, actually pulling up the comments from the attachment that you have provided, and then it is going ahead and going to analyze everything and then giving you a 500 word article, right? So it will go ahead and do it in batches. We don't have to worry about it. Let's wait until this is done. It is actually giving you an overview of what is happening, as it processes, right? Here is the funny part. It says he looks like old Jake Paul, which might not be providing a substantial feedback about the content. So it is going to ignore that, right? And there is something else which doesn't add any value to the context. It is going to remove that. The remaining comments offer feedback, reactions, insights, making them valuable. So this is very, very interesting indeed, because it is interesting because you will go ahead and speak about things which you want to be there and exclude everything else. Second, you're gaining as much context as possible from the content that users have provided, which is user-generated content. There is no research tool that can beat what users are actually saying they want to view, watch, read, listen to, whatever, right? Now you are bypassing everything and you're just hacking at that one thing which matters the most, which is what do users want to go ahead and look at. is there in the comments. They have put it down themselves. We have not made it up, right? So you take those contents, you give enough context, and you try to get as much information as possible. And you will use that to go ahead and write Google ads, which is all the more interesting, because they have to be, now they're more likely to be in line with what the audience wants to view most of the times. All right, so let's give it some more time. I think it should be done. Okay, so it is finished analyzing those, and it is finally giving you an overview, which is the general consensus from the YouTube comments suggests that the episode in question was highly appreciated, which may be labeling with their favorite episode or the best pod. It appears that the interview, presumably named Jesse, has a significant fan base with comments praising his authentic and down-to-earth demeanor. Jesse's stories and advice resonated with the audience, making it more memorable. All right. Okay. For Google Ads, here is a potential headline. It has also gone ahead and done that for you, right? Discover why everyone's calling it the best episode yet. Join us for an unforgettable chat with Jesse. Dive deep into inspiring stories, invaluable advice, and candid moments that resonate. Beautiful. Now, if I am going ahead and promoting this as a video, this video on YouTube, and I would want to write a YouTube description and a headline, here is what I would ask you to write. Okay. I appreciate your analysis. I am looking to promote this as a YouTube ad. I am looking at this point in time, I don't even know what the characters limitations for YouTube ads are, but let's just find out. I'm looking at writing ad descriptions and headlines for YouTube in-stream ads. I am not sure what the character limitations are. I appreciate you stick to the YouTube ad policies and write me engaging ads and descriptions based on the UGC, right? No fluff, no exaggeration, and no buzzwords. You also may want to say the goal to make sure I get as many views as possible on the ad. It doesn't have to be views. You can always say that you would want to increase more subscribers, anything, right? All right. So the YouTube in-stream ads have certain character limitations for headlines and descriptions. While these limits may vary based on the ad format, a common guideline is headlines up to 15 characters and description up to 70 characters, which may or which may not be true. You can always cross-check. Okay, Jesse's best talk. Now, this is beautiful. This is really interesting, right? These are so... this is exactly what resonated with what people were talking about, right? This is resonating the sentiment of audiences in the comments, from the comments. Now, this is data, right? This is not something that you made up, or you just didn't go to Chat GPT and say, okay, write me some 5 descriptions, right? Now, this is based on what the users actually want, what they actually said, right? Now, this is how you can go ahead and leverage user-generated content for making ads which are very, very relevant to what people are suggesting, wanting to view, and what would appeal to them in the truest sense. So basically, this is how you can use ChatGPT for generating ads or ad content from user-generated text. Thank you so much. My name is Casey. Until next time, if you have anything that you would want to be made on this channel, if you would want anything in specific that you would want me to make videos about, I'll be more than happy to do that. Thank you so much. Until next time. Ciao. My name is Casey. You are watching Marketing Think Tank.